what do you think like the biggest factor as to why women have like such problems with like dating Asian men?
Okay, so the number one thing is that a lot of Asian men were looked at differently compared to black, white, and Latino.
Mm-hmm.
The way people perceive us as being smart, nerds, introverts, quiet, we're weak.
Okay.
We have small dicks,
Uh,
you know? Like a lot of, it's like a stereotype, you know? Some of these
Yeah.
stereotypes, they're true.
Mhm.
So I know a lot of Asian men are like looked up because when I talk to a girl, when I go on a date with a girl, a lot of them is like, I never met an Asian guy like you. Like, yo, what
Oh,
is that
yeah,
supposed to
okay.
mean? You know, what am I supposed to be? You know, am I supposed to be some quiet dude or?
Yeah.
You get that sometimes, right?
I get that. I get that sometimes. Like I remember when I was in ninth grade, like I had a Dominican friend that told me like, oh, I never met an Asian guy like you. I
Mhm.
think you know her.
Yeah.
Let's not mention names, but keep it discreet. But yeah, they said that. I'm like, what? In my head, I'm like, damn, you've never met Asian dudes like that act a certain way, you know?
Yeah.
I think the reason being is because like, obviously, me and you played football back then, so we were surrounded by our environment. So we
Yeah.
became a product of that environment.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I say N word like with my homies though.
Mhm.
I don't say it like as a way of like disrespect. It's just like yo, what's up, bro? Like
Yeah.
it sounds to me back then when we was young. When I was young, like the N word was like brother. Like when it came down to
Yeah,
like football stuff.
because the people we grew up around with,
Yeah.
we grew up around with like, kind of like we're in New York City.
Yeah.
So there's like a
Nitty
lot
gritty.
of people said the N word.
Yeah.
Whether you're Asian, white, Spanish, black.
Yeah.
I always hear it. You know, I mean that's probably when I'm like, when someone says it, I'm like, oh, it was really like a bad thing to say. But
Right.
I know you got to know your limits of who you say it around.
True. Yeah.
Because I just don't say it out of nowhere like
Mhm.
crazy. You know, if either I sing a song
Yeah.
or like I'm with my friends, it's fine, you know. They don't care. They could care less, you know. And especially you and me, we grew up around like black and white people mostly,
Yeah.
you know, because we
Yeah.
played football,
Mhm.
you know. So they were kind of ghetto.
Yeah.
But they weren't
that's it.
they were ghetto, you
They
know.
were ghetto. Yeah.
So it's like we hear that word and we're like, oh,
True.
okay, yeah. So
Hey, when I first got like exposed to that word, is actually when I was playing football. Like I heard it before, but like no one ever called me that in like middle school. It was mostly like when I joined the football team where they were like, "Yo," and I was like, "Whoa!" In my head, I was like, "Wait a second, like, is that appropriate?"
because they weren't saying that as like a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
They would come up to me, they're like, yo, what up? They would come up
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah,
You
we
know,
were,
so-
but we was like 12,
so-
13.
Yeah.
So we was like
So
fairly
we
young.
grew up around
so
it, you know.
We grew up around that type, you know.
Yeah.
So that's why like going back.
But personally, from my experience, it's like if you're black, all right?
Uh-huh.
Let's say you're a black dude and you grew up around a white neighborhood, all right?
Hello there, John.
And you never heard of the word N-word. I don't think you're not allowed to say it.
Nah, yeah.
Even if he's black, because you didn't grow up around that culture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay, I get you.
So you grew up around all these white people, and you're the only black guy, and you never said the N-word.
Yeah,
Like, you kind of
that's not you.
I feel like you shouldn't be able to say it as much as like the other people that grew up around that kind of culture.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
grew up around
Mhm.
that environment, you know. So it's like,
That makes sense. Like if you coming from the projects and you say it normally, then it becomes normalcy.
yeah, because I know there's a lot of ghetto Asian, a lot of ghetto white, Latinos, blacks,
Yeah.
and they all say the N-word.
No, I know my Asian friends. that say
I know a lot of people like they don't check them because but like we look at them, they're kind of ghetto. Like a black person want to check this ghetto Asian guy or ghetto
Yeah.
Spanish guy because you know he's ghetto. Like yo,
Mhm.
he's a thug. You know,
Yeah, he
like
fits in.
Yeah, so you don't know what he has. So like you're not gonna just check him. You know. So
I
it's
totally
like,
get
yeah.
you. Like we got our Tibetan friends, to be honest. We got like a lot of Nepali and Tibetan friends that me and Sonam like we act like like we don't act like that when we're outside. We just be ourselves.
Yeah.
If I'm not gonna flaunt it around like N-word. I'm not gonna say that like 30 times
True.
a day. But we got people that's like fresh off the boat coming from like Tibet, like saying I'm like, yo, bro,
Yeah,
you've been here for
word.
like 2 years.
That's true.
Bro, you've been here for 2 years and you saying the N-word, like, nah, chill, homie, like, relax, but that's where it came from. So back to what we were saying about how, you never met an Asian guy like me.
Yeah. So like it's like a lot of we get looked down upon
Yeah.
from women because they're like, oh, if you ask a lot of women, oh, what kind of race would you date? It's either black, white or Latino,
Like the
but barely
last.
Asian.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Yeah.
because like I don't blame you. It's how people make us look.
Mhm.
Oh, Asian have small.
Yeah.
Like, we're weak.
Uh-huh.
We're nerds.
Yeah.
You know, we're quiet. We're introverts.
Mhm.
We're not outgoing. You know, we like to play a lot of video games. It's kind of like that into our like persona, our like the way we Asians are looked at.
Yeah.
You know, compared to like black,
description.
white, and Asian, it's like, oh, blacks, a lot of athletes, a lot of rappers, like a lot of girls want to date them.
Yeah.
You know, so like if you looked at the statistics, black men is the most dated. Then I think it's white, and then Latino, and then Asian.
Because they got a big.
Yeah, they got a big dick.
That's it, bro.
But not only that, like the way the market perceives them.
Uh-huh.
You know, like the social media
Yeah.
nowadays. Like, oh, I want to date a basketball player. When do you ever see an Asian guy in the NBA? I want to date an athlete. There's
Only-
a lot of
Oh,
athletes.
Yao Ming.
There's like barely any Asians in there. So it's understandable, the Western side, you know, like America. So it's like rappers, a lot of black rappers,
Yeah.
Latino. You barely see Asian, maybe K-pop
Yeah.
popping.
True.
But that's the only thing I know. And they're Korean.
Yeah, with K-pop, then Korean guys like they dress a certain way. They dress a little bit more on the feminine side.
Feminine side.
So like you told me once before, like you and your sister, you know, the whole story where like you asked your sister was like telling you like, oh, those guys are like so what, like hot or something,
Yeah,
blah
good
blah,
looking,
like
yeah.
good looking, like nice skin tone, whatever. And they look all right. But then when like you ask them, yeah, they look all nice and you know cute and all stuff, but like would you date them? And then your sister responded with like,
Yeah, like you wouldn't, because a lot of men, a lot of women, they want like guys. They want like
Yeah,
manly dudes.
like
they
an
don't want
alpha.
they don't want someone to wake up at the same time as them and put the same makeup. Imagine your boyfriend putting the makeup on their face same time as you do before you go to work.
Y'all gotta share that bathroom, bro. Y'all better have 2 bathrooms in the crib. Like
Man, you're gonna be
you know?
messy.
You guys gonna be messy for real. So like, yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, you know, in terms of statistics, that you know Asian men fall under the impression that we, you know, besides us not like presenting ourselves,
Yeah.
we're not really out there. Asian men, like you said, are very introverted.
Yeah.
Well, most of them, not all of them, because trust me, bro, I'm an extrovert. And I know you have parts of introversy, but like you're very extroverted too. Like you speak your
I
mind.
could choose. I
Yeah.
could choose when to be like.
Yeah,
introvert,
exactly. I'm always out there. Like I'll always like speak
I'm
my
more
mind.
like I say like 60-40.
60-40?
Yeah,
Okay.
like 60% introvert and 40% extrovert. Because I could
Mhm.
be like I could go out if I want to, but I choose not to. You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, if I
That's
had to
good.
choose, I would choose to be an introvert side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, just keep to yourself. Like keep a low profile,
Mhm.
and that's a good thing, you know.
Yeah, but like also remember the note that I'm saying Asian man, not Asian woman, because I know a lot of guys that want to date Asian women.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
You know.
Let's keep it between Asian men.
Yeah, but right now like this note that I'm saying Asian man.
Yeah, yeah,
Men,
Asian men.
you know?
Yeah, so like we're differentiating between, you know, the genders. Obviously, we're gonna be focusing on today's video, solely upon the males.
Yeah.
So females could be like another topic in itself, but like with Asian men, like I'm gonna start off with like saying like our not performance, what is it called? Preference. That's the word. So like obviously like yeah, like to back up what Sonam said, like we're the last chosen because a lot of these females out there prefer to date those other races, you know. Sorry, we're all human race. Let's get that straight. Like for me, we're all the human race. Our ethnicity is the differentiation, you know. It's like you have those Asian, Black, Hispanics. I think Indian falls under Asian. So like when we talk about Asian men, for me, we're talking about Indian, Pakistani, Bengali, Thailand,
All
you know,
Asian,
all
yeah.
Asian, you know? Not just because people think like, oh, when you talk about an Asian guy, it's like Chinese. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't want to date the Chinese guy. You know, but that's not all of Asia, bro.
Yeah.
Like all of Asia, like y'all probably never heard of Bhutan, you know, till we mentioned it. You know what I'm saying? So that's not all of Asia, you know? A majority is Chinese, Japanese, Korean, but like there's others out there, you know what I'm saying? Even within our group, we get discriminated upon, like the skin color of Asians.
Yeah.
I think so. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's like a lighter skin Asian, then a white Asian, then a very dark skin Asian, you know?
Yeah.
So there's a whole mix, you know?
Mhm.
And with that said, yeah, females like prefer to choose what they're comfortable with. I feel like when I was in Scranton, Pennsylvania, when I was in school, I was probably there was a group of like out of 30 to 35 kids. I was like the second Asian there, and then that would be only in my third grade class. There would be probably like two more other Asians, probably in the fifth grade class, from what I remember. So I couldn't like relate to none of them, and I had to make a new batch of friends because I was like, damn, if I don't make any friends, like I'm gonna be solo dolo, and that's the worst feeling, you know.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel like Naruto out here, like mad, like not looked upon, looked down upon because I'm just the only outcast. So like I had made new friends, they're kind of weird and stuff like that. Like the way that they act, different from New Yorkers,
Yeah.
They like to bike and things like that, But like obviously, like for me, when I went to Pennsylvania, I know a lie, I had a thing for white girls.
Yeah.
Because that's all I saw, and that's all I was like what is that word called? Man, frick. It's all I was.
What, surrounded?
Surrounded, yeah. I was surrounded with just those types of people. I wasn't surrounded with like Asian people, So like I wouldn't know their culture, as much. Only I see my parents, pretty much it. But like I was just surrounded with those white girls, and I had to like, I fell in love with those white girls because that's all I saw every day.
Yeah.
In school,
Yeah.
So with that being said, like preference and like you said, desexualization, it's not in Asia. I feel like it only happens in the Western side of the world.
Yeah.
America.
Of course, yeah. Because the way the social media is.
Always.
That's the way. What. Because we live in America, so we gotta be realistic. We're not gonna be surrounded with only Chinese people. If we're in China, Korean. If we're in Korea.
Yeah.
Korea does like if you're in Korea, you will see mostly Korean. But if you're in America, you'll see like different parts, like a lot of black on this side, a lot of white on this side, a lot of Asian on this side.
Sure.
Like we live in Queens.
Queens, yeah.
So we see a lot of Latin people. I mean, I don't hate them.
Right.
So like that's who we're surrounded with. That's why I feel like I will probably marry a Hispanic girl,
A Latina.
yeah, because I feel like I could relate with them more than Asian.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, me right now with a Latina, bro. There's lots of compromise. Depending on how which Latina type.
I like the sassiness. Though.
You like that sassiness?
Yeah, I think it turns me on.
Yo, like what you mean by sassiness? Like,
like they have this attitude that they carry with them, but it's not like a bad attitude.
Yeah,
it's like a good attitude.
They have that presence.
No,
I think it's
that
the
way you look at them.
Oh, that way that you look at them,
Yeah,
the way that they act underneath.
Yeah.
Okay. Cause like you could date a fine, an 8 out of 10 Latina, but her like a superficial thing, But like deep down, she's like a 3.
Yeah.
Like she has no type of respect, no ethics, no type of understanding or compromisation between the two. Like, so like that, I add those two together, 10 and 13, average it out between 20 and like you're like an actual 5. Like you're personality wise.
Yeah.
You look good, but you look you're just the way you bring yourself like is bad.
The way you carry yourself.
Where you carry yourself, So Asian women, women in general have a hard time dating Asian guys because of that desexualization. They like small dicks.
Small dicks, yeah.
But it's like the majority of the people are Asian though. So the way I see it is we have average dicks and you're just anomalies. Like y'all, if y'all have bigger dicks, yo, big ups to you. Like God blessed you. You know
What's
what I'm saying?
Average dick though? What's the average dick?
Average is like 4 or 5, no?
Nah, I think like 6.
6? Damn.
6 inches. And I'm telling you, I know a lot of Asian men that don't have 6 inches.
They
Stop
don't.
capping.
Yeah.
They're capping. I know a lot of Asian guys,
I've seen
probably
it in
like
the pool.
4 or 5 inches.
I've seen it in the pool. Come to the pool, bro. It's like, oh
I'm just
my
being
God.
realistic,
Yeah, this is all, we're being like straightforward.
Yeah.
We're not gonna
Did
like
you ever measure your
sugarcoat
dick
shit.
size?
Yeah, bro. It's like on a good day, like 4.5.
4.5?
4.5.
You're lying.
On a good day.
You lying.
I'm dead ass.
Nah.
I'm not gonna lie.
I measure mine like
Yeah.
close to 6.
Oh, that's good.
Close to
That's
6.
good. Though.
I'm not gonna cap. Not
Yeah.
even capping.
I'm like, I wish, bro, but it's like, no, God bless me with that. I'm like, oh, whatever.
But like,
it's all good.
of course, you know, I'm Asian. It's not that big,
Yeah.
you know. But there is exercise you could do.
There's
that I
girthy
did.
though. There's girthy.
You could do like exercise.
Yeah.
Search it up.
Okay.
You do like stretches.
I feel you. Yeah, I'm not gonna stretch my dick, bro. I don't.
No, it's a natural way though. It's actually good.
Yeah. But people that have a big dick know they have a big dick.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So like they're just like when a woman like dates you, besides what I'm saying is like besides you having a big dick, what else are you going to like offer to the table? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like after if let's say you meet another person with another big dick, but he has more money than you, obviously she's gonna leave you because this person also has a big dick and he has more money. So it's like
True.
you know what I'm saying?
But
so
those are like the city girls. Like most girls.
uh-huh.
Because there's always going to be a few girls that really don't care all about that. They
I
just
feel
really care about personality.
Mm.
But most girls, of course, they want a guy that looks good and that
Yeah.
makes good money. It's an
Yeah.
attribute, you know.
I feel you. That makes sense. Yeah, but I mean, other than that, besides desexualization, it's like presentation. The way we present ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we're so like, we're little, you know? Like, we present ourselves not like, we don't present ourselves like as an alpha dog.
Well, most Asian. I do.
Most
Consider
most
myself
Asians.
like that's what I'm saying. Like, if we have to give tips to Asian men, like, number one is like
Presentation.
the way you carry yourself. Because I know a lot of Asian guys. I haven't spoke to Andre about this. Like, when I'm in a restaurant, like when I used to work in a restaurant, a lot of these Asian guys that come in, they really don't like make eye contact.
Yeah, they like keep their heads down. They're like,
Yeah, they don't make eye contact. They don't really talk
yeah.
loud, like
Yeah.
clearly. Not even like loud, like screaming, like clearly. They're like, hey, and I'm like, what?
They
Like,
mutter.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yo, what? Like, what you trying to order?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
look me in my eyes, like I'm a human being, you know. It's just make a quick eye contact. So I don't really blame them for. They probably grew up because I know a lot of Asian like families. They're like strict. They probably created that environment for that kid.
Yeah.
You know?
That's another thing I want to talk about. Yeah, I want to touch upon that later.
So it's like, my advice to a lot of Asian men is like, try to be more like assertive.
Yeah.
Assertive. If you want something, and if you feel some type of way, say it.
Uh-huh.
You know, like don't just bottle it up. Because I know a lot of Asian guys do that.
Yeah.
You know, be assertive. Work out. Physique. Like, you don't have to be like the most brolic guy, but like at least look big. Don't look scrawny.
decent, you know?
You know.
You gotta
Look
compromise.
like you're a man.
Yeah,
Look
you
like
gotta
you're a man.
compromise.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, like
eat more.
eat more. Like, yo, we look so frail. Like, we look like, I not me, bro. I got these guns. You feel me? Like, I've been working out since I was 12. You know,
Yeah.
I look good. I look fit for my part. You know what I'm saying? But there's other Asian guys where I'm just like, yo, bro, like I could break you, bro.
Yeah.
You look so small. Like, you look like a twig. You know. To be honest, I'd rather be like a little on the chubby side, on a big side, because I'd rather be big, you know, than like skinny and frail. Like you can't even like hold your girl down or like pick her up. You know what I'm saying? Like we see that in like Disney movies, for example. Like Disney movies, obviously you have the princess looking at the prince, and the prince is always carrying the princess. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like even in Mulan, the guy was actually big and built. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like going off of those standards, like if you're looking frail, you're not getting up there. Like you have to play that part. You have to get bigger, stronger. I'm telling you, man, black people, especially from like African descent, boy, they're big, bro.
Yeah.
Even if they're not big, they're like physique.
But they're more like black and white people. They're more like I said like they're more like assertive.
Yeah. Oh,
The way they
okay.
carry themselves, they look up, they look down, they make eye contact,
Yeah.
they talk to you like that, you know.
Yeah.
It's not like, hey, like.
Yeah, like hide in your shell, like
Yeah.
Ninja Turtle type. Yeah, I understand what I'm saying.
A lot of girls like that. They see they see like body cues of what type of person you are, you know. So if I go on a date and I'm talking like this,
yeah.
like how would I
you want to
look?
be there. I don't
Yeah.
know. Like a little like damn.
And
you want
a
to be
lot of
here?
Asian people is like that, you know.
Yeah. You gotta make your statement, make your stand. Like I'm here. Like
You don't
what's
have
good,
to be
baby? I'm
rude,
here.
but just like show that you're capable of like carrying yourself.
Yeah.
Being confident, you know.
Yeah, carry yourself hard. Like carry yourself like you're carrying, you know, your name. You're carrying your pride.